Muted. All right. Welcome, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Tuesday Coffee Chat here on Niknax.net. For those of you who are watching over on Facebook and YouTube, my name is Jocelyn. I am also the Crazy Lamp Lady, and I am the owner of Niknax.net, which is one of the newest and fastest growing e-commerce marketplaces out there right now. We have live selling, we have buy it now listings, we have multi-day auctions. We have about 55,000 members currently, over 5,300 sellers, and about 118,000 listings here on Niknax. And we would love to invite you to come on over and hang out with us, check it out, do some browsing. This is the website. It's Niknax.net. So come on over, check it out, hang out with us for a bit. We have live sales happening pretty much all day, every day. So come and pop in. Give some encouragement. Check it out. I feel like that's a little bit better, huh? All right, let me get us over to YouTube. I'm going to switch us over to subscribers only, and then we will get started. Content. How is everybody this morning? Hope you're all doing well. Thank you. This is one I don't normally wear out of the house. I don't know. I don't really like this one. Here we are. I was like, you know what? It's comfy. I think I'm going to wear it. Okay, let's see, subscribers. 2 years. So if you are over on YouTube, you will have had to have been subscribed for 2 years in order to comment. All the more reason to come on over here to Niknax and comment and hang out with us. All right, I'm going to shut this computer and I'm going to switch to this one. Why not have two? All right, there we go. Oh, King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. I know it's a Moon and Stars hoodie. That is exactly what this is. Welcome in, everybody. Let me make sure we are casting here. I realized last week that we didn't actually multicast to Facebook. I went over to Facebook and I'm like, hey, wait a second. I don't think we casted to Facebook last week. Kind of crazy. Didn't happen. we were never there. Oh, thank you. Yes, I am doing well. So we are, in fact, on Facebook. All right, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to pull up our notes and we will just get right to it. So for those of you who are just tuning in, it is Tuesday. Today we talk all things Niknax. So we're going to just go through our notes. We're going to talk about our accomplishments, our milestones, what's going on Niknax, any updates we might have. Those of you watching the replay, you might get bored. You might be like, why is she not getting to the point? It's because it's not edited. This is all just me talking live. So you might get bored. It's all good. Oh, did it? Okay, maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. My charge. You know what? I'm all charged up. I don't know why it's giving me a hard time here. Go charge the phone. Okay, here. All right. Can we confirm that we are over on Crazy Lamp Facebook now? See, now I'm getting warm. Like, oh, it's because the heater is right under my desk. That's the problem. Okay, yeah, we are live. We are over on Facebook. Okay, cool. All right, so let me pull up our notes and let's get to it. Notes. Christina called me at 5:30 a.m. this morning, her time, to go through these notes. That's dedication. All right, well, yes, so please take a moment to check out the store. You'll find it somewhere on your screen, depending on where you are watching from. There's a little store icon. I did load that up with some fun stuff. We have bugs and we have cheese stuff because, as you probably guessed, today is National Cheese Day. I knew that before I looked at the notes because I'm about it. And I'm like, I've been waiting all year to celebrate this day specifically. So I knew today was National Cheese Day before you did. So I loaded the store with all the cheese things that I could find on Niknax. I did know that. Yeah, I posted it on Facebook this morning while we were on the phone. So there you go. I probably told you that and you didn't know that, Christina. So here we go. Let's start our notes. We currently have 54,788 members. Like I said, we are almost to 55,000 members. That's 380 new members since last week. Read the flippin' guidelines, guys. Read. Actually, that was in 3 parentheses. I don't think she wanted me to read that out loud. I think that just came out. I need to be more careful of what I'm reading out loud. But there's worse things I could have read out loud. But read the guidelines, new members, please. That's the reminder to everybody to read the guidelines. We do have guidelines here on Niknax. They're very important. Because unlike other selling platforms that you may be used to, we enforce our guidelines. And so if you don't follow our guidelines, unfortunately, I do have to reach out to you and be like, hey, please, please follow our guidelines. I do want to, real quick, this is not in the notes here. It's not in any parentheses. This is me just reminding you guys that if I do have to reach out to you, it is never personal. It's not because I don't like you. It's not because I have anything against you personally. I just have to reach out to you because we have guidelines and I have to let you know, like, hey, please follow our guidelines. It's nothing personal. And it's just a reminder, like, hey, can you please make sure that we're on task and we're doing the right thing. I always say that. I'm like, just do the right thing. So read the guidelines, especially now that we have all these Jamble sellers applying. I'm sorry. I really I'm sure there's a lot of nice people on Jamble, but I just never hear nice things. And so it really does freak me out. But yeah, please come and read our guidelines before you apply and after you apply and after you're approved and all of the things. If you're coming from over there. Yeah, those pesky kitten sellers. We're currently at 5,470 sellers. That's 11 new sellers since last week. I did approve a few new sellers. I did. I went through applications this morning. Again, same. We are exploding with new applications, and I will say the same thing that I've been saying the past few weeks. Even though we are just exploding with new seller applications, 9 times out of 10, these new seller applications are just not even answering the questions. It's just yes, no, NA. And I'm like, how do you expect me to approve? Here's what I think. I think that people don't realize that I actually take the time to read the applications. I think people apply for Niknax thinking that it's just a yes, 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 yes. I don't think that when people apply here, they think that somebody takes the time to go through the applications when really I'm sitting there reading your answers. And if there's nothing to read, I'm going to the next one. So if you are applying for Niknax, please answer the questions. Take your time. Be thoughtful about your applications because I am going through the applications. And if you're not taking the time to apply, answer the questions, I'm not taking the time to review your application. And I shouldn't have to say that, but it's true. So we have almost 1,700 applications now, but I am going through them. It's like a job. It is literally like a job application. We value our sellers here on Niknax. We value the experience that our buyers have. We want our buyers to have a good experience, and that comes down to our sellers and having quality sellers who take their job seriously. And so if you're not taking your job application seriously, it makes me nervous. So I'm like, ooh, I don't know. They didn't take the time to answer the questions. Are they going to take their selling seriously here on Niknax? So just keep that in mind. I'm sorry, I got distracted by that Facebook comment. Oh yes, you have to enter. Obviously, you have to enter your address and credit card information in order to participate in the sales. Otherwise, you can't pay for the items, and the seller can't ship them out to you. That's a requirement for being able to participate in the sales. You have to have your address on file and your credit card information. But everything is processed through Stripe, which is very secure. Whatnot, which is one of the top live selling platforms also uses Stripe. So I can promise you that everything is very secure. Anyway, let's see. That was a distract. I get easily distracted. All right, let's see. We currently have 117,700 listings. That's a lot of listings. So as always, I encourage you guys to go and do some browsing of the listings. There's lots of listings to browse. You can go up to the search bar. I always say make sure you're on Niknax.net when you do that search, because if you're on district, you get all of the district search results. Where's my water? So yes, make sure that you are on Niknax.net when you do your search. That way you're supporting our sellers here on Niknax. I know they appreciate it. I'm going to take a sip of water, then we'll continue. Thank you very much, Krista. I appreciate that. Guess what? Today is National Cheese Day. Like I said, National Cheese Day. It's in the notes. It is not enough said. National Cheese Day. And then she puts enough said. I mean, that is really, we don't have to say anything beside that. It's National Cheese Day. So what's your favorite cheese? I'm just curious. Do you guys have a favorite cheese? Somebody's gonna be like, I'm lactose intolerant. And I'm like, I'm very sorry if that's the case. Havarti. Yeah. That's like a staple in our house. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite cheese, but it is definitely a staple. Like, it's always in the fridge. And for dinner, I'll just be like, okay, it's Havarti and crackers for dinner. That's it. That's all we're doing. Nacho cheese. There's nothing wrong with that. All except for stinky cheese. I mean, the stinky cheeses are some of the best cheeses, I feel like. I mean, like, if it's stinky, sometimes it tastes really good. No, you don't think so? I feel like yes. Does anybody agree with me? No, way too stinky. No goat cheese. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of people who have a thing against the goat. I mean, goat cheese is very earthy. I'm a fan of the goat cheese. I always thought it was going to be really gross. And then I worked at a restaurant where they had this strawberry goat cheese salad, and they would fry up the goat cheese. And it just it made it really creamy. It was delicious. It was pretty darn. And that's when I started liking goat cheese. And now I just eat it straight out of the fridge. Not even warm or fried. It's just delicious. I don't know if you guys have Wegmans by you, but Wegmans has some of the best, best cheese trays. They're so good. Everybody who's here for coffee chat is like, why are we talking about cheese? Other guys are just tuning in and they're like, I thought this was Niknax coffee chat. Why are we talking about cheese? Okay. I could talk about cheese all day, so we're going to keep going. As a reminder, I did put some fancy little cheese knives and cheese boards in the store. If you see it there on your screen, do a little shopping in there. I love Wegmans too. I do my shopping at Wegmans. It's the best. Publix. Yeah, I feel like there's a fight brewing between, if you want to talk grocery stores, let's talk Wegmans and Publix. Everybody knows Wegmans is the best. Okay, let's continue. It's the International Day of Acceptance, dedicated to social acceptance of those with disabilities. Together we can unify people of all abilities and help ignite conversations that would help change attitudes for the better. I like that. And I think that's very important. So remember to go out there and be kind to everyone that you meet. International Day of Acceptance. National Penguin Day. Of course, she says, did you know we have lots of penguins on? I did not know today was Penguin Day. Otherwise, I probably would have added some penguins to the store. Acceptance of incomplete applications. That is correct, Claudine. We do not accept incomplete applications. Sorry. Yes, Wegmans is a bit uppity. I will not disagree with that statement. That is correct. Let's see. I'm just running. Okay. Noted. All right, let's do a search for penguins, shall we? I have to get over to Niknax. Why not use the news site, which I believe I did speak with this. So a lot of you are probably like, why do we still have, this was my conversation with Christina. Why, Christina, we still have Christmas tree lights and a Santa hat on Niknax because we're moving to the new site. Like, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I just don't see any point in putting the energy and the time into fixing the old site when the new one is going to happen anytime. This is the conversation. We've had this conversation for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, it's anytime now. Anytime now it's going to happen. So why would I spend the time fixing the old site when I know the new one's happening anytime now? But it seems like I've been having that conversation with her for like 2-3 weeks. And so now I'm looking at it again and I'm like, but listen, I think it's happening this week. But see, I've been putting so much energy into the new site that it's like I go here and then I'm like, oh, wait, I got to work on the new site. So it's just like I'd rather put that energy into working on the new site. You know, like I only have so much energy and that new energy is better channeled towards the new site. So once the new site happens, there's not going to be any more like, yes, our new site for Niknax. We do have a new site for Niknax. So we're going to do a search for penguins on the new site. Just give me a second to get us there. I have to go to the link and then we will search for penguins. I've got a lot of my charcuterie. You're absolutely correct. That is an understatement. Let's see. Here it is. I'm going to turn you guys around. Yes, so this is going to be Niknax.net here very shortly. But this is what the site looks like. So this is the new Niknax. So I made a few changes since last week. I told you guys it's still a work in progress. So anybody who is test driving it, you guys know. I did add auctions. So now multi-day auctions is up in the top bar. So it's home, shop live, auctions, which will bring you to multi-day auctions. Then of course we have browse, which is just listings, chat, about, and events. But anyway, we're going to search for penguins. Penguins. Here we are. Penguins. Oh my gosh, these are super cute. What are those? See, now I'm shopping for myself. Those are adorable. Yeah, I like those ones. If I was shopping for myself, I would probably buy those. Of course, you have to have the penguin ice bucket. I know there's still, look, he's still there. I'll fix that. I will fix that, okay? Here we've got more we got penguin shirts. We've got a Liz Claiborne penguin bookmark. That's a cute little raccoon penguin. I know, a chunky one. Oh gosh. I know, I keep changing stuff. I'm on the back end. I'm switching stuff around. I'm changing the homepage. So as you can see, we have quite a few penguins over here. Oh, this is adorable. Oh, look. That's cute. So there you go. You can do a little penguin shopping over on Niknax. Go check it out. Now I do want to see. I wonder if it'll take us. Oh, look. So there you go. So if you click on auctions up here, you'll see all of the auctions that we have available. That's nice, right? You can go search out. I like having auctions up on the top bar because I feel like sometimes they get lost in the shuffle. Shop live. We have all of the upcoming live sales. About. Welcome to Niknax, Meet Crazy Lamp Lady, Why Niknax, Frequently Asked Questions. Events is still a little bit in progress, but those are kind of your basics. So we have shop category here. For those of you who don't know like what it looks like, shop by category. We've got seller spotlight. I did move auctions over to the sidebar. So that kind of stands out a little bit from just, being up in here. I had a Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day is here. Love Bugs Bazaar is over on the side. Shop Bugs is all the buy it now listings with bugs in it. Jewelry, handmade, support Niknax artists. This is just little like bits of handmade. I gotta figure out what to do with it. I'm thinking of stretching these out and having them go fully across just so there's not empty space here. It will be both. It'll be standalone, but also it can still be accessed through district. So if you go to district, you can access it, but it will also be standalone. Yes, I'm definitely going to put guidelines at the top. I have already made that is a mental decision that I have made. Thank you, Larissa. Correct. Here is media. So there's our media, books, music, comics, dogs and cats. And then down here, worth the wait. Obviously, we do have a little bit of a wait there, wait time. And then shop live. So we got a little bit of graphics down at the bottom, but there you have it. Yes, you can access seller dashboard. I think you would do that over somewhere. There's a place to access it. I just don't know where exactly that is. But this is only going to affect desktop. So if you access it through your computer or through your, your top right. I just clicked on it and I'm not logged in. So that was my problem. I'm not logged in on this one. That's why it didn't work for me. So if you go to like your Safari or your web browser on your phone, or your desktop, those are the two places that you will see this version. But it will, yes, on your tablet through a web browser, but not on the app. Not on the app. So there you go. So that is the new website, which I'm sure it was in the notes that we were going to go over that, but I just went over it with y'all. So please hold your questions until the end, and then we will obviously we'll have time to answer questions at the end. How do we get the address for that? So it will be niknax.net once we make the conversion. And actually, Santa just messaged me. Let me check that. I wonder if she's out. She did not. But I'm thinking that maybe over the course of some point this week, maybe we'll do that that switch over. So when you go to niknax.net, this is what you will see. You will see this website. So it will be kind of done over. And the reason for this is because we want to separate ourselves from other marketplaces. We kind of want to separate ourselves from district. My goal for Niknax has always been to kind of have our own Niknax powered by district. District is the infrastructure, the technology, but I want Niknax to be Niknax, not district, but Niknax. And so this is one step closer to being just that. So no, but Dylan, can you let Sienna know that if you're having trouble getting it to work on your iPad? That's okay. She knows. Okay, good. Because that's the first time hearing about it, but maybe some others are having issues as well. Okay. We added to the guidelines. I don't even think I need to like just pull them up to show you guys. I'll just give you the summary. I'll give you the cliff notes. Real quick, cliff notes on the updates. So jewelry. It's like it has to do with jewelry, and like MLM related jewelry. For those of you who are like, what's an MLM? Multi-level marketing related jewelry. So paparazzi, for instance, There was another one, but paparazzi is the one that comes right off the top of my head. What's it? Premiere? Is that another one? So here's the deal with selling MLM jewelry. Per our notes, we allow the sale of stuff like that when I have to pull up my notes so that I can actually. We have exceptions to certain things. I just have to pull up the guidelines so I can see exactly what I wrote. Every time I update the guidelines, okay, so Premiere is one of them. Okay, good. At the top of the notes, I put updated, and then I always put the date that I updated the guidelines last. So if I've made an update, you will see the last update. And then if you scroll down, you'll actually see a comment that says when I've like the updates I've made. So if you scroll down to jewelry, not permitted. Obviously, we have new bulk, contemporary wholesale jewelry. That's always been a rule. And then right under that is multi-level marketing jewelry in mass quantity. Exceptions include vintage products. So if it's like some vintage MLM jewelry that like is no longer, so like Avon. If somebody was to pop on with like vintage Avon from like the 1970s, and they have like gobs and gobs of like, they did a buyout of somebody who used to be like a consultant, and they have like all this awesome 1970s Avon jewelry. Like that's awesome. I love that. So that's an exception. Obviously, if the company is out of business, so for instance, Premier Design, if it's out of business, they can go for it. Or the consultant is no longer active. So say the consultant like is liquidating their inventory. They have all this inventory, no longer active, and they're like, oh, I got to get rid of all this stuff. I'm no longer active. Not a problem. Because here's the thing, obviously if somebody pops up on Niknax with a show that's like paparazzi jewelry, anyone going to that show knows what they're getting. It's not like they're going into that show and they think they're getting something that, like, oh, I'm getting all this quality sterling jewelry. Like, no, you go to that show, you're getting paparazzi. They're advertising paparazzi jewelry. You're going to that show, you're getting paparazzi jewelry. If that's not your thing, don't go to that show. It's just plain and simple. But they're not misleading anybody. They're telling you exactly what they're selling. And I don't honestly see a problem with that. So, yeah. But I mean, if they have a bunch of stuff, they're no longer active, they're trying to get rid of their stuff. I don't see a problem with it. So those are kind of the exceptions to MLM jewelry. And we are allowing that kind of stuff. Obviously, I would encourage you guys, if you are selling jewelry, you go through and you review our jewelry guidelines, because we do have a lot of guidelines on jewelry. We try to make sure that we're strict about them. I say we're strict about jewelry, but we're not like super strict about jewelry, and I think that's probably farther down in our notes, and we'll go over that. It seems more and more, I don't know why my nose is so itchy, but it seems more and more seems to creep into sales. Premier Design is no longer in business. I feel like I had a friend who did Premier Designs, because that's like the first thing that came into. She used to always try to sell it to me, and I felt so bad because I'm allergic to this stuff. And then she's like, oh, you should come to my party. And I'm like, sure. You guys, if you watch my videos, I'm allergic to like anything that's not sterling or gold. And I'm like, yeah, I'll come to your parties, but then also like I'm allergic. And she's like, here, but I'm like, okay. She's trying to sell me all this stuff. And I'm like, is this a real friend trying to sell me jewelry that I'm going to like have an allergic reaction to? Maybe I'm going to need like, I'm going to like, this is not cool. Real friends don't try to force jewelry on you that you're going to have an allergic reaction to. Am I right? Let's be real. If this was a lifestyle, I would have skipped it. Nah, she's like, come to my house. I'm going to feed you a veggie tray, and then I'm going to force feed you some jewelry that you can't even wear. And you're going to feel obligated to buy it because I'm your friend. Real friends don't. That needs to be some merch. Real friends don't MLM you. here's a veggie tray, and here's some premier designs. They hook you, they hook you with the veggie tray and the charcuterie. That's what it was. I know, it's the worst. And then you're like, are you a real friend? Because a real friend wouldn't do this to me. I think actually that was the end of our friendship, to be real. If I'm being real, that was the end of our friendship. I was like, I'm never talking to her ever again. No, actually, the end of our friendship was when she got into the Mary Kay. The first thing was the Premier jewelry, and then after that, she got into the Mary Kay, and then she invited me over for that. And I'm like, yeah, that was I was her friend until the Mary Kay. She really wanted that pink Corvette. Is it a Corvette? No, it's a Cadillac. She really wanted the pink Cadillac. Okay, anyway, now I'm off topic. Let's see. Where were we? Okay, we added guidelines that are specific to companies like paparazzi. We just went over that. Android users. How do you like the new listing on the fly feature? If you are a live seller and you haven't tried it, go live and give it a try. Oh, yes. For those of you asking what MLM is, multi-level marketing. I think it's actually illegal. Isn't it illegal? Because when I looked at paparazzi, there was like a lawsuit against them. I guess they're in hot water with the state of, is it Minnesota? Washington State. Paparazzi is facing major issues, including a Washington state settlement for alleged pyramid scheme practices and false lead nickel-free claims, leading to refunds for consumers and new transparency rules alongside ongoing class action lawsuits and significant recent price increase on their popular jewelry, causing some consultants to leave the business. But some people like the jewelry. That's what I'm saying. Some people like it. So if you like it and you know what you're getting and that's what you want, then nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? So there you go. Yeah, I think there's very strict rules on how to conduct business if that is your business model. I think the government monitors that very closely. And it's basically like somebody at the top has to recruit people underneath them, and then people underneath them, and that's basically what that's what an MLM is. And then the money all flows down. The money all flows up. You can Google it. All right, let's see. Also, I want to encourage you guys, if you are, so this is the thing. Twice a week, Sienna has live onboarding. If you are struggling with going live, say you've already done the live onboarding, maybe you haven't gone live in a while, maybe you did go live and you struggled with it, you can always do it again. There's nothing that says you can only do live onboarding once. I would encourage you that if you're having trouble, if you're struggling with going live, do it again. Sign up, try it again. There's no shame in like doing the onboarding again, trying it again, going through it again. No shame in asking questions. We have our chat channels. You can go into the chat channels and ask questions about going live, what buttons to press, especially Android users. If you're an Android user and maybe you're struggling, we have an Android section. You can ask questions there. And I would definitely encourage you to do so. The truth is, going live on Niknax is different than going live on other e-commerce sites. So there's going to be different buttons. No, I mean, I could see your comment. But yeah, you got to be here for 2 years. So peace out. Yeah, so if you're having trouble, like there are resources for you. And don't get frustrated. I mean, everybody's super helpful here. They can definitely help you. Let's see. There's something in like three quotations. I'm like, I shouldn't read that out loud. I'm trying to think of how what does that even mean? Oh yeah, don't worry. I will talk about Carlisle Antique Fest. That's usually at the end of my notes. And that's when we talk about Carlisle and tea, because a lot of people here are like, I don't really care about that. But I will talk about it at the end, I promise. Yes, I think I always say questions at the end, but yes, district does send out tax forms. I actually just got one the other day. I think I got an email. Yeah, I got an email with mine. So I'll just tell you what it says. It says, I'm just gonna read it out loud. She's like, don't read the quotations out loud. It just says motivation to go live and be consistent. That's what I know. Like, why are you putting it in parentheses? Because I'm like, I don't know what to say if you're just gonna do that. It says motivation to go live and be consistent. I just want to encourage you guys to go live and be consistent. I mean, that just seems to be the common theme every week, is like, just there's something to be said about being consistent and going live. I've been struggling with that a lot lately. And the reason for that is Ashton's basketball schedule is just like insane. And I was talking to Christina about that today. I'm like, I love that he is in like basketball, and I love that so much. And like, I love supporting him. I love that he's enjoying his games and his practice, but also sports mom is hard, especially when it's Monday through Friday. And especially when it's like, some days it's a game, and some days his games are like 2 hours away. And some days his games are at like 9:30 at night, and sometimes they're at 4 in the afternoon, and sometimes it's a practice, and sometimes they have to pick him up at 7 and 5. And it's just like every week it's a different schedule. And so committing to going live at any certain time during this entire season of basketball has been just like, I don't want to commit and then not follow through. That's my problem. Is like, if I commit, I want to be following through. So this whole entire basketball season has just been chaotic for me. So I was talking to Christina today about, like, as soon as basketball season is done, like, I am committing and I'm going to be consistent. And I want to encourage you guys, like, it is so important to be consistent. And I've really been struggling with that, because I thrive on being live and being consistent with my lives, and saying, okay, I'm going to be live every Tuesday, or I'm going to be live every Wednesday. And for the longest time I was doing that, and I was seeing results, and people knew when to expect me, and it was great. And it's been hard not being able to do that. Christina, I don't know if you just want to hop over to YouTube and block someone. I'll do it. So I want to encourage all of you, if you are able, if you are in a position that you can do that. I'm not saying go live every week. I'm not saying go live every day. But Claudine has been doing amazing. But if you are able to do that, I'd say go for it, because you stay consistent long enough, people know when to expect you. I mean, you will see results, and it's definitely worth it. Were you able to ban them? I think it's something I have to do. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Hide user on this channel. Okay, there we go. We should be good. All right, continuing. All right, back to notes. Sorry for the distraction. All right, let's see. Hello. So it's a new year, so all revived and ready to go live. So, I mean, yeah, that's a great excuse to like come up with a plan and a goal and be like, okay, for the new year, this is my goal: to go live every week, to go live every other week, to go live once a month. Like, one of my goals for this year is to have one big sale every month, because I know that that's something I can commit to. So February 2nd, the 1st, is a Saturday. Is it Saturday? I don't even know if it's Saturday or Sunday, but we're having a big sale. Because we want to do something big. And I was like, you know what, that I can commit to. I can commit to that. So maybe there's something that that you can commit to. Creating a schedule boosts consistency. Absolutely. Refreshed inventory. Try something new. Your location. mixing up your selling location, your pricing. You can refresh your profile. Co-selling, face forward, absolutely. You can show yourself, you can show the item. Oh yeah, titling your shows. I mean, that's important. I kind of just title them whatever. I'm like, I got some stuff. You guys see I've gotten a little lazy with titling my shows and my thumbnails, if I'm being honest. But titling your shows with the items that you are selling, like glass, pottery, knickknacks, figurines. Letting people know what to expect when they're going into your show. That's important. Not to sell yourself short. Make sure that people know what to expect when they're going into your show. It's been a while since we talked about this, so let's talk about Temu and Alibaba for a little bit. It's been, I talked a little bit about the guidelines earlier, our jewelry guidelines specifically. We had issues with this very early on. This was something we saw a little bit more frequently. We saw issues with sellers going into Temu or going into Alibaba and just buying lots of vintage inspired jewelry. And like you could hear the cellophane when they were selling their stuff, and it was no doubt. No doubt. It was like one item after the next. And like you'd go on Temu and you could like identify every single piece that they had. And it was like, okay, there's no doubt in my mind that this seller has purchased every single item in this lot off of Temu or off of Alibaba. And so then I'd have to send him a note and I'd be like, hey, like we were able to identify every single one of these items here. And we can't have this. We can't. And the reason for that is because we don't want buyers having a bad experience. We don't want buyers purchasing something under the impression that it's vintage and then finding out later that it is Temu, that they can find it on Temu for $1. We don't want people thinking it's vintage, because there's a lot of vintage inspired things on Temu. They look vintage, they're vintage inspired, and we just don't want people being disappointed. So that was an issue when we first started. Since then, we haven't really had any major issues. Now, all of that said, I understand that occasionally pieces are gonna sneak through. There's gonna be pieces that slip through. You can't be an expert on everything. You can't know everything. And I can tell you without a doubt, I have probably had pieces slip through. And it happens to the best of us. There are pieces that sneak through, and you can't know it all. You can't know everything. And honestly, it takes a lot for me to reach out to somebody and be like, hey, we're noticing quite a bit. Like, can you just give me why is it that I'm seeing so many pieces come through? But if I do reach out to you, it's never going to be like an immediate, like, hey, I'm shutting you down, I'm banning you. I'm like, I usually ask for an explanation, like, hey, I've noticed this. Can you please explain to me, like, hey, can you give me some explanation? Can we talk about this? It's not going to be an immediate, like, I'm shutting you down. like I try to give the benefit of the doubt. I really do. I don't like to assume that everybody is purposely trying to mislead anybody. Anyone is purposely trying to violate our guidelines. And that's just the truth. Let me see what Christina I'm just spitballing now, so I got to see what she actually wrote down. She says, we are reasonable. That is true. I did say that. I think this is important to note too, that, as a marketplace, we really try to, we try to push that Niknax is about quality. And we are about quality, but also, we're about different price points as well. We don't want to see a bunch of Temu, obviously, but not everything is going to be sterling gold. Some of our stuff is going to be fashion jewelry, that you could buy at New York and Company 10 years ago. Like it's not all going to be top of the line sterling and gold. That's just facts, because not everybody can afford top of the line sterling and gold. So we're gonna have all different price points. We're gonna have, fine jewelry. We're gonna have costume. We're gonna have modern. We're gonna have signed. We're just trying to make sure that nobody is misled. And one thing that was really interesting to me, when we started saying, oh, no Temu, no Temu, no Temu, is we actually had some buyers who spoke out about it. And, they even said, hey, I don't mind buying a piece of Temu here or there, if the seller recognizes mid-sale, like, oh my gosh, I think this might be Temu, like they're going through a jewelry lot that they bought at auction, and oh my gosh, here comes this piece, like, oh, this might be Temu. I'll use this as an example. Obviously this is not Temu, but like, oh my gosh, guys, I think this might be Temu. We had a couple buyers that were like, I don't mind supporting a seller secondhand, a piece of Temu, versus buying it directly from the site and supporting Temu. And I thought that was an interesting take on it. And I could appreciate that take. Like, no, I don't want sellers going out and buying a ton of like, I don't want that on Niknax. That's very important. I'm going to stress that right now because I just said that out loud. I don't want anybody going out and buying like lots and lots of Temu. But a piece shows up in a sale and it accidentally slips through, or a seller realizes, oh my gosh, this might be Temu. I can't confirm it, but I don't think that it's top quality. But buyers have said that, I'd rather support a seller who has realized that, oh my gosh, this isn't top quality, but than supporting Temu directly. And I thought that was kind of interesting. So keep that in mind. Not everything here on Niknax is going to be silver and gold. It's not all going to be top quality, because we have people shopping here who can't all afford the top most quality, and that's fine. That's fine. We want to make sure that we're supporting all of our buyers. We want to make sure that we can offer all sorts of variety here on Niknax, but we will steer clear from the Temus and the Alibabas and the mass-produced stuff, because we don't want anyone being misled. And that is the bottom line. We just don't want people being misled, thinking they're getting something they're not. And the problem with Temu is that they're selling vintage-inspired stuff that looks vintage, and it is not. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So I think that was the discussion. What is Temu? I think you know what that is. And then if you have any questions about that, just write it down. We can touch base at the end. We've been seeing a lot more co-selling, which is awesome. I would encourage you guys to do co-selling. Co-selling is not available on other large e-commerce sites, so it's really awesome to have that here on Niknax. It's definitely a feature that you should be taking advantage of. It's great hanging out with a friend, being able to banter and hang out, and I would encourage you guys to definitely check it out, do some co-selling. It's a great way to share customers, to just hang out, have a good time, not just with each other when you're co-selling, but with customers, people that come and buy from you. It really is a great opportunity. So take advantage of that and hang out, and think of fun ways to incorporate it. You can do games, you can do trivia. There's lots of fun things you can do. Now let's talk about Carlisle Antique Fest. May 8th through the 10th, we have Carlisle Antique Fest. If you are looking to sign up for Carlisle Antique Fest, you can go to carlisleantiquefest.com, or you can Google Carlisle Antique Fest. Those are your two options. Please remember that if you're on Facebook and you're on the Carlisle Antique Fest Facebook page, and anyone says, hey, contact me for vendor space, if they're not me, well, I guess even if they are me, because there are imposter accounts, just go to the website. That's what I'm saying. Just go to the website, go to Carlisle Antique Fest, and then you can sign up to become a vendor. Okay, that's the only place to go. But don't respond to any emails, DMs, or anything like that. You just go straight to Carlisle Antique Fest. Yeah, we'd love to have you guys come hang out with us. I think the event has over 2,000 people interested. We're over 100 vendors currently, which is awesome. And it's getting a lot of it. I think the Facebook page has over 600, almost 650 people liking the Facebook. I mean, it's insane the attention it's getting. And I'm just like, I'm really excited. Whoa, this is getting a lot of attention. I'm so stoked. I'm like, this is awesome. I mean, I knew it would, but I'm also like, this is so cool. So please make sure that you're sharing it, talking about it, telling people about it. It's going to be an awesome event. It's going to be awesome. And also, I did talk to Big Hill Cider about Saturday. And they're like, yeah, Troy is so great. I adore him so much. He owns Big Hill Cider. I was like, yeah, I was thinking about Saturday, maybe coming out here. He's like, yeah, I mean, if outside doesn't work, we could use the back room. And I'm like, okay. So guys, we're going to fill up the back room. It's going to be awesome. Let me see. I didn't see that comment. No way. That's going to be awesome. I love that. I love that. It'll be great to have you. I think it's gonna be, I'm thinking of it this way. Okay. You guys know this is my first event. I know there's gonna be hiccups. Not everything's gonna be perfect, but if we have a few hiccups here or there, obviously we're gonna be able to pivot. We're gonna be able to fix them, and the next one's gonna be even better. Like going out, looking at the fairgrounds, checking things out. And this is the other thing is looking at some of the spaces, there are some, that are a little bit sloped. But here's the other thing is if somebody's not happy with their space, there's no reason why we can't just move into a different space. There's 8,000 vendor spaces on the fairgrounds. If you're I don't like this, I don't like that this space has gravel in the corner, and it could be that's a little, I'm gonna be honest, I'd be a little bit but if there's something that's not good about I'm not opposed to being well, this is an empty space over here if you like this. There's nothing we can't fix. I don't understand why there's nothing that can't be fixed. I'm just really excited about it. I think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be awesome. And I think it's gonna just be a lot of people sharing the same passion, having a lot of fun, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. So I'd love to be a vendor, but I'm not able to plan for. Yeah, so I'm thinking if this is successful, which I'm feeling like it's gonna be successful, we might do fall. Because the fairgrounds is already asking me about fall. I mean, they were kind of about fall, and I was like, let's see how this one goes. But I think maybe fall. But I'm also let's just see how this goes. So possibly fall, because we were already talking about it. But I'm I just want to see how this one goes. So, but I think it's going to be awesome, and I think fall could be good. Maybe in September or something. So if I can, I'm sure you'll manage. I'm sure it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. So yeah, I'm hopeful that you guys can come and join us. Check it out. If anyone wants to be a vendor, scooter rentals. Oh, that's a good question. So we would have to make it worthwhile for the rental company to come and set up. It would have to be worth their time to come and set up. That would be the thing. That's amazing. I love that. There is a bit of a wait time. We currently have almost 1,700 vendors, and it depends on how detailed the application is. Let's see. I'm writing it down. Estate sales CCP. Okay. Oops, I swiped out. Okay, there we go. Well, I'm taking questions on the Antique Fest real quick. But I guess we could say we'll save the rest of the questions till the end. Yeah, Niknax questions. No. You don't have to be approved Niknax sellers. You do not have to be an approved Niknax sellers. However, I am offering 20% off vendor space to approved Niknax sellers. Now, here's the way this works because of the software. When I first signed up for this software, they told me that we could offer discounts. And I was really excited about that. So I told you guys, if you're a Niknax vendor, I'm going to give you 20% off your space. Now, after I signed up for the software and after we built the map and we did the applications, they told me, oh, well, you can't offer discounts on booth space. And I was like, what? So now the way it works is if you are a Niknax vendor, you apply, I approve you, you purchase your space, and then once I see you've purchased your space in the application, it says, are you a Niknax seller? And if you put your Niknax username and all the information, I can go back in and I can refund you 20%. It's not ideal, but that is how we are doing it. So you have to pay all of it up front. Yes, Big Hill Cider, that's where it's going to be at. I don't really have any plans for it, except that's where we're going to hang out. I should probably make some plans, but that's, yeah, Big Hill Cider Saturday night. They usually have live music. They have a food truck. But that's like the plan so far. I'll have more of a plan, but I just talked to Troy on Saturday night. So, I'll get that. I did talk to Troy. He owns Big Hill Cider, and I talked to him on Saturday night, and I said, hey, since I have you here, I wanted to talk to you about May. And then I talked to him about it, and he said, okay, sounds like a plan. And so that is it. That is the plan. But maybe we'll come up with more of a plan by then. So let's continue. I will take more questions about all of this. I know. And Crystal, it was really cute because he's like, if there's bad weather, we can give you the back room. I was like, okay. It was really cute because I think that maybe we might be a little big for the back room. I didn't tell him that, but I thought it was very sweet. All right. The pufferfish is in a box somewhere. All right, let's get through these notes. If you guys have any more questions, I can take them at the end. So let's go over support. If you have any, if you need support, remember you can always contact support@district.net. That is for any technical issues, payouts, updates, typical support stuff. That is support@district.net. They can help you with stuff. Sorry, I've got all these notifications popping up now. I can add coffee. I can surely do that. We still have a little bit of coffee left. Not much, but we have some. Let's see here. Actually, we have more than I thought. There it is. The last of the coffee. Can we add a family member to help us survive? Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. They would have to be an approved seller, I would think. Let's see. Community@niknax.net. Yes, is for issues between sellers. If you're having issues with buyer and seller, any of that, you can reach out to us. Marketplace questions, reporting any guideline violations. You may not always get a response from us, but we do see those messages. We do respond to them. We respond to them if there's an issue. We respond to the issues. Christina@niknax.net is any. Thank you for your coffee purchases, guys. I appreciate that. And make sure that you're also checking out anything else you might see in the store. Christina@niknax.net is for any event-related inquiries. Remember, we don't have the run-by sheet anymore, and we lifted the No Thursday events. So you guys can have events on Thursdays if you'd like. Remember to check the calendar of events. On the new site, we will have an events tab where we will have the events. So if you are having an event and you want it on there, make sure you send it to Christina. Coming up, we have Love Bugs Bazaar, the 24th and the 25th. I told you guys this last week, if you are in that event, remember to start curating. Start looking for those love bugs because it is not easy. I know, because I've been to like 3 different antique malls. I've been to Goodwills. I cannot find bugs anywhere. I'm about to start ripping this place apart after this just to start looking for bugs. We're going to find some. Don't worry. It is a challenge. Let me tell you, it's a challenge. But here's the plus side, the positive of this is that anyone who collects bugs and anyone who likes bug things and anyone who is like about the bugs probably has the same difficulty in finding bugs when they're out and about. So this is their weekend to come to Niknax and find bugs that have been curated for them, because it's a whole weekend of bugs and spiders and butterflies and all the things that you can't find anywhere else. It's a whole weekend. So if you like bugs, it's the 24th and the 25th of January here on Niknax, and they are being curated by our sellers, live sales, and buy it now listings. So I would encourage you to come here to Niknax to find them, because obviously they're very hard to find at regular stores, apparently. So remember, all items must be a variety. If you are selling in your live sales, handmade too. Yes, handmade too. And I do have those featured on the new homepage, which hopefully is dropping this week. They might actually be featured on the old homepage. I don't go on the old homepage very often, but they should be featured there. Please email Christina at niknax.net if you need any guidance on this event. But remember to bring a variety of bug items. No mythical creatures, no mollusks. That includes snails. We're looking for a mix of categories. That includes decor, jewelry, ephemera, handmade, clothing, accessories. Your items can have a bug on it too. They don't have to be a bug. They can have a bug on it. Spiders count. Insects are included as well. We're going to have a Fast Friday freight train in February. February 13th is Leprechaun's Loot. So all signed unmarked jewelry. So that is going to be on the 13th. Fast Friday Freight. So for those of you who are not familiar with Fast Friday Freight, that is a train on Fridays, an event that is back-to-back live sales. 15, I always say 15 seconds. Every time I talk about this, I'm like, it's not 15 seconds, it's 15 minutes. 15-minute time slots, back-to-back live sales. And it's just really fun and fast-paced. And it's exciting. And it's fun, and it keeps the momentum, and sellers love it, buyers love it, and it's fun. So that's February 13th. So yes, it's 15 seconds. That's wild, isn't it? That's gonna be jewelry. So that's signed and marked jewelry on February 13th. February 27th, another Fast Friday Freight. This is going to be a seller showcase, a show where you bring items that you love the most. What do you bring to the table that gets you excited? And this is going to be including handmade, because this is falling on Handmade Market. So we're going to be transitioning by then to the new site. And we're going to have to figure out how the new site works with Handmade Market, because obviously we've always transitioned to all handmade on the old site. So trying to figure out how to transition to the new site. By then, I'm sure we'll have figured it out. But like thinking about it stresses me out. So I'm like, okay, how do we do this like for the future? Anyway, so we kind of wanted to incorporate handmade into this Fast Friday freight. So Handmade is going to be included in this Fast Friday freight, which is seller showcase. So I think Christina is going to be reaching out to some of our handmade sellers about that, but it's going to be a little bit of a mix between the two. Info on when interstate posts will be an announcement. All right, so make sure you're looking at announcements for that and your notifications are turned on. March 7th through the 9th, Glass Gallery featuring Fenton. Start curating now. Always start curating now. Details will come in announcements as well, so make sure your notifications are turned on. Here's your quote of the day. No, categories will remain. Categories, I hate categories. They are the same. They will remain the same until they don't. But categories, we just gotta deal with them for now. They will be there the way they are for the time being, and we'll just roll with it and work with them. Always be curating. I like that. Okay, quote of the day. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Dr. Martin Luther King. This encourages adaptability, changing your approach when conditions aren't ideal. Perseverance, continuing despite setbacks and difficulties. Focusing on progress, valuing any step forward, no matter how small, as progress. Hope, maintaining faith in the future and the possibility of achieving your goals. There you go. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'll get back over there. So there you have it. What is this? Oh, wait, what? Broken ribs? Yeah, keep on keeping on. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. Well, I have... No, it's going to be the same site. It's just a facelift. It's the same site. It's just getting a facelift. Everything's pretty much the same. Yeah, we're ready for questions now if everyone has any questions. What? How did I not know that? Dude. Do you have to do surgery for that, or probably at some point this week we will integrate into the new website. You went live anyway. Is anybody surprised? Let's be honest. Is anyone surprised? I'm not surprised. Oh, I love that. Yes, yes. There's a major winter storm coming this weekend to Carlisle. That is correct. That is very true. Actually, I told the kids and I were on the way to school today. And I was like, hey, looks like you guys are going to have school on Monday. So good. But you know what? On days like that, I get a lot of work done because I just, as long as the power doesn't go out, I get a lot of work done. Where to stay? Okay, we've talked about this before. Carlisle Antique Fest. Where to stay for Carlisle Antique Fest? There are a lot of places to stay in Carlisle, but when we've talked about this in the past, please research the hotels in Carlisle because a lot of them charge by the hour. And if you know that you want to find some place that charges a nightly rate and not an hourly rate. So please do your research. You can stay in Mechanicsburg, which is a town over. They have some really nice hotels there. I mean, that makes it sound like really like not that great, but that's just like one end of town where there's a lot of um, Car- Carlisle has a huge um, trucking industry on one side of town. So there's like a lot of like trucking industry happening, and so there's something about that part of town that it's just not. There's a lot of transients happening, and the part by the turnpike. That's the part where 81 and 76 come together. Yeah, see, you know. But yeah, Mechanicsburg is really nice. Like I would say, I would encourage like Mechanicsburg is a little bit. It's the next town over, but I'll tell you what, they have some really nice restaurants. They've got great hotels. Not that Carlisle does have some nice hotels, but I'm pretty sure they're probably going to fill up pretty fast. But yeah, I mean, I would stick with the names you're used to seeing, the main ones. How far is Lancaster from Carlisle? Lancaster is probably about an hour. Now, if you were to go out by Lancaster, you're pretty close to Adamstown, which, you've got Adamstown. They have about 17 antique malls in Adamstown. If you're coming to Carlisle, you might as well hang out here for the weekend. Maybe like Sunday, go hang out in Adamstown, do a little shopping. I will say Brimfield kicks off on Tuesday. That's in Brimfield, Massachusetts. Brimfield is about 5 hours from Carlisle. So if you wanted to make a whole week of antiquing, you could do, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Carlisle, hit the road, get to Brimfield by Tuesday, do Tuesday the whole week in Brimfield, and have a whole week of antiques. That would be totally worth it. Sorry, I'm reading back up into your comments. Talk about co-hosting. So in order to co-host, you both have to be approved sellers to co-host, and then you just sorry, content, and then you just invite the other seller in to co-host. It's pretty easy, but you both have to be approved sellers on Niknax. Yes, you can also, Gettysburg is great too. Gettysburg is probably about 30 or 40 minutes. But that's a great place as well. And there's so much to do in Gettysburg. Also a lot of great hotels, lots of great restaurants, lots of stuff to do at night. They've got the ghost tours. If you're into that sort of thing, it's a lot of fun. Yay, Airbnb in Carlisle. There's some cute Airbnbs in Carlisle. I've been scoping out the competition. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. There camping available. So there's some nice campgrounds and gardeners. There are some nice campgrounds and gardeners. There's Mountain Creek. I don't know the names of the other ones, but my parents have stayed at Mountain Creek, and it's very cute. Sometimes they have live music. I don't know. That might be too early in the season for live music, but I'm not sure. No, everything should just be seamless. We've had lots of testers testing the new website, reporting any like glitches or issues, and so by the time we transition to the new site, it should be seamless. Is my hope. Will it be too cold to sleep in my car? So the thing about Pennsylvania is there's no way to really predict how the weather is going to be. Um, Not really sure. It could be cold. It could be warm. I just have no idea. It could snow. I have no clue. Yes, Camp Hill, Lemoyne area is nice as well. Yes. Yep. And you got, Antique Marketplace of Lemoyne for sure. Is Meet Your Maker a thing of the past? We might reintroduce Meet Your Maker. Um, yeah, I don't know. We're just trying to like rethink how to approach. Once the new website is implemented and we have an idea for how it operates and how we can utilize it, I think we'll be able to figure out how to continue. Because I'm just not sure how to feature. I don't know. I just have to play around with it and figure it out, I guess. Hammer was a really good sleeping bag. Yeah. unless you guys have any more questions for me. Any questions about the show? Any questions about Niknax? Yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know, but that just sounds good. Country Inn and Sweets. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I feel like you can't go wrong with Country Inn and Sweets. When is my next show? I'm not sure. I was gonna have one today, but I didn't have it scheduled, and so I'm not sure. Possibly later this week, but Ashton has a game, and that's just gonna throw me off. Tables available at Carlisle. Okay, so you would need to rent. So if you go to our website, Carlisle Antique Fest, under vendors, I kind of switched up. I know I'm constantly playing with websites. It's kind of a thing. Here, let me take you to our website. Okay. So this is Carlisle Antique Fest. I was messing around with the website earlier this week. Now, if you go to the vendors tab, it looks like this. It looks different. Before, if you hit the vendors tab, you went straight to the application. Now you would have to click this to go to the vendor application. But if you scroll down here and you go down here, are tables and chairs included? No. The answer is no. But it says tables and chairs can be rented through either Carlisle Fairgrounds, here's a link, or High Peak Tent Rental. And there's not a link, but a phone number. So you can call and order tents. You can call and order tables or chairs. And if you call and pre-order, they will have them at your site ahead of time. Also, if you wanted to order a tent, you could call High Peak Tent Rental and they will set up the tent for you. And when you get there to your site, it will be set up on your site. So yes, we have a large tent. Obviously it'll fit 40 vendors, but if you have your own spot and you wanted a tent over your spot, you didn't want to bring like a pop-up tent, they would set up a tent for you. And that's here. Vendors can use their own tents for coverage. We require that tents are staked and secured. Very important. But here also is the phone number for calling to get a tent set up. And obviously that would be at your cost, but you could call, you could talk to them about the options, have a tent set up for you on the site. So there's a lot of frequently asked questions there. You could go through those. Can I bring a golf cart? No. Due to liability, we're not allowing golf carts. Can you bring your pet? That was a question we strongly advise against. We strongly advises. I guess I should fix that. That's a typo. We strongly advises against. Gotta fix that. Anyway, we strongly advise against it. We have, what is the expected attendance? We've been getting that question a lot, and I'm like, I don't know. Is there security? The grounds are entirely fenced in. In addition to cameras, the grounds are patrolled overnight. The most secure area is Building T. It's locked down and alarmed every night at show closing. With that stated, we do not guarantee the safety or security of any property left at any site, on grounds or off grounds at any time. Yeah, I said no golf carts. The last thing we need is somebody running somebody over, somebody running into somebody's table, somebody getting drunk on too much Desperate Times beer and just like plowing into, another golf cart and playing bumper car. Like, it's just, I feel like it's a bad idea. Bad idea. Yeah. Golf cart surfing, also not a good idea. I just felt like, staff only golf carts. Somebody needs a ride, flag down a golf cart, be like, hey, I need a ride. Bad idea. Mobility scooter. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I feel like I will talk to them. See, we have to figure out. I will talk to them. We have to figure out the attendance, because we have to make it worth their while to come and set up. That's the issue. I feel like we're gonna have enough. We're gonna have enough people, right, to make it worth their while. So far, we have over 2,000 people interested on Facebook. I feel like that's like, hey, maybe I can pay them to come and set up. If it's not worth it, I'll be like, hey, it's worth your time. And then they show up and they're like, this isn't worth our time. And I could be like, hey, I'll throw you a couple $100 to make it worth your time. Oh, yes, walkie-talkies for sure. Yes, it's okay to bring your own scooter. It is. Yes. What? What did I say? Did I say something weird? Huh? I was reading something, so I'm like, maybe I said something weird. Huh? Oh. No, you're good. No. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Mobility scooter. Who? What? Huh? No one have any more questions? Any more questions? I feel like what I need to do is I probably need to go live on the Carla Antique Facebook page and answer questions. I feel like that's where I need to probably go live. Yeah, because I feel like this is great, but I feel like a lot of people on that page don't even know that there's a Niknax coffee chat. I'm like, what? What is Niknax? There's a lot of people on there who don't even know who Crazy Lamp Lady is. Of course I can, yeah. Let's show them out. Give me one second. Let me pull it up. Oh, yes, actually, if you go to the website, here, let me show you. Actually, pull this up. How do they know? I don't know how they don't know. You guys are funny. All right, let's see. Preview. Oops. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, here it is. Okay. So this is the map, and this is like, I can't stand this software. It's the worst. They're like, would you refer a friend? And I'm like, nope. So here's the web. For some reason, like, they're not graying it. So you have to hover over to see if somebody has the spot. But this is the map currently. And if you watched my YouTube video last night on Crazy Lamp Lady, Sage and I did a tour of the fairgrounds, and we drove around, and I showed everybody, like, okay, this is where the tent is going, and this is, where these booths are, and this is what this looks like. But this is the map currently. So I wish I had a picture of, oh, here, can I click on this? Oh yeah, so this is the whole fairgrounds right here. So our footprint is basically right here, but this is the entire fairgrounds. So entrance is this. Yes, I can pin it. But gate 3 is the entrance. So you'll come through here. Parking is going to be down here in this area. So parking will be here, like handicap parking will be up here. Because nobody's picked that spot yet. That's why they don't have names. Nobody's picked that spot. That's why they don't have any vendor names. But yeah, so our footprint that we have is right here around the food court, around building T. These are the pavilion spots. So these are undercover over here. So, I mean, those spots are ideal. But yeah, so that's going to be our little footprint. I mean, if we do this show 3 years from now, maybe we'll outgrow it and keep growing out. I think that'll be awesome. But yeah, there you have it. Now on Sunday, what I'd love to do is have a flea market down in this area. So if somebody wants to just do one day on Sunday, they can pay $20, come in, pull up in a spot, dump their stuff on the ground and sell it, and call it a day, like 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock, just have a flea market. I think that would be really cool. I literally, that's what I imagine. That's my jam. I love that. Like, I love digging through stuff that's dumped on the ground. so that's what I imagine on Sunday. Like, Mother's Day, flea market, stuff dumped on the ground. What better way to spend your Mother's Day than digging through stuff that's been dumped on the ground? That sounds like a fun way to spend it. That's the actual fairgrounds map. So when you go and you look at our map, it's a lot smaller. Like if you go into our map on the website, it looks smaller, but then if you actually zoomed out, you could see this whole big space, and it's huge. So yeah, so that's what we're looking at. But maybe I'll go live. I'll go live. I don't like any. It's basically like any. Laurel dumps all her totes on the ground. It's like that's my day. But like I actually get to buy cool stuff, you know. So yeah, every morning Laurel's like, I'm gonna dump all my stuff on the ground. But I've seen all that stuff, so it's like new stuff. What exit is? Ooh, that's a good question, Maureen. It's the Carlisle exit. I can tell you that much. I do know it's the Carlisle exit, but I don't know the exact number of the exit. Does that also cover the space? I'm not sure. Yeah, so the tent is going to have walls. So the tent, it's a large tent. We can fit 40 vendors under the tent. The vendor spaces under the tent are 10 by 15. It can fit 40 vendors, and it will have walls. It will have walls. Yes, that's a very good question. Will there be a public list of vendors? So apparently, if you go to Eventing, there's supposed to be a list of all of the vendors who are signed up. How to get to it, I don't know. But apparently there's supposed to be a public list of all of the vendors who are signed up. I'll have to play around with it and see, because it would be really cool to be able to look and see all the vendors, but I'm not seeing it here. So maybe I have to like enable something to see all the vendors, because it's not showing up. Yeah, I'll play with it, because they're supposed to show up, but I guess maybe there's a toggle or something. Yeah, I'll try to figure that out. And then I also wanted to share some of the vendors on the Facebook page, on the Carlisle Antique Fest Facebook page. Share some of the vendors. Walls that you can hang stuff. I don't know if you will be able to hang stuff, because they'll kind of just be like tarp material. Harrisburg, yes, Harrisburg would be the airport that you would want to fly in and out of if you were to fly. However, it's a smaller airport, so it's probably more expensive. It would maybe be cheaper to fly into Baltimore, but it would be a 2-hour drive if you were to fly into Baltimore. But if you were looking for flights, maybe Baltimore, it might be worth looking into that if you were just looking for better flights. But yeah, Harrisburg is the closest for sure. I don't know if New Jersey, Newark, maybe as well. I think that one's a little bit farther though. All right. Well, on that note, I think maybe I'm gonna call it, because I got a meeting in I got my next meeting in 7 minutes. But oh yeah, post office, right? Post office. Okay, yes, I'll do that. Write another post-it note. Hagerstown. I didn't even know Hagerstown had a. Does Hagerstown have? No, do they? That's wild. I just learned something new today. I didn't even know they had an airport. Anyway. Oh, it's a small regional airport. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Well, that's crazy. All right. Thank you all. I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday as well. I'm going to send you guys on a raid, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Oh, it looks like Tara's live today. It's been a while since we should raid Tara. It's been a while since we've seen Tara. So let's go raid Tara, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day. And I will see you guys later. So long.